I've been listening to discourse about passport bros. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that a couple years ago. So let me take you to a time where I went to Cartagena a couple of years ago, Cartagena, Colombia. I went with a person that I was talking to at the time. We're at the airport right before you get into Cartagena, and we're in front of a group of about 6 to 7 black men, 45, 50, 55 years old. Real unk vibes. They in the line, kikiing, laughing, cracking jokes.
Well, obviously, these men are committing a hate crime, right? Because nothing sends a bitter sister into a tailspin faster than seeing a few men having a good time. Enter Debbie Buzzkill, suddenly morphing into Karen the moment a harmless joke crosses her radar. By day, she's a professional victim. By night, a shameless 304. The type of woman that would heckle Dave Chappelle at a comedy show and then file charges on him when he responds. Coward. Let's see what 5 random men in Cartagena got her clutching her warm-up pearls about.
We start engaging in conversation, laughing with them. Then one of the men.
Hey, hit the like button on the way in. Let me give credit to the content creator. This is going to be Destro Reborn. I'll put the link in the comment section. Let's continue on.
Turn to us, males, I don't know about men, turn to us and say, why are you two here together on this trip? Okay. I say, it's my birthday. We want to experience the culture, have a good time. Then he says, why would y'all bring sand to the beach? Huh? Okay. That's an odd thing to say. Skate past you.
Most of you already know what just happened. That was what we call a shock and awe icebreaker. Contrary to popular belief, this tactic works especially well on the melanated, hypersensitive cosplay alpha female. Think of it like hitting her with a Pokemon confusion attack. Or better yet, ice-cold pimping Aikido. The more sensitive and aggressive she is, the more effective it gets. She burns mental bandwidth, trying to decide if she should laugh, go on the attack, or play the victim. That moment of indecision causes her defenses to drop, temporarily, but long enough for you to breach the walls of Troy, or Trina. But trust me, it's a dangerous fighting tactic. But when it lands on a Sha'Carri Richardson or an Ice Spice clone, it leaves them completely defenseless. But hey, that's a topic for another video.
Foreshadowing, okay? On the trip, we go out one night, partying. It's a couple people dancing, but I couldn't help but notice it was 10 women standing up against one wall. Now, they were dancing, but they wouldn't leave the wall. The night progresses. I started seeing men come up, say they want to the women on the wall, take them and leave. Another girl, replace that girl. Another guy, come, talk to a woman, leave. Another girl, replace. I didn't know. I didn't notice that this is a club-sized brothel. It was drawing. I just had never experienced anything like that. It was just the casualness of that happening throughout the whole trip. It was something.
Giving women money for sex is wrong when it's not in America. Yes, I know tomorrow I will say my tenderloin isn't for free. And yes, I expect you to bring me the Ruth Chris steak, pay to have my hair and nails did, and cash at me regularly if you plan to sleep with me. But this is different than a woman in Colombia doing the same exact thing. You see, in America, I'm a strong, independent black woman when I ask you to pay me for sex, because nothing ain't going on but the rent. But this poor, defenseless Colombian woman is a victim, even though she's doing the exact same thing. Well, simply because Colombian women are beneath me. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. I mean, they are third world people. We have to speak up for them and tell them how they should feel. Teach them how to be unwed single mothers like us. We must continue to empower them to be underneath us, just like how the white American woman has done to wait a minute.
Any man talking to me, telling me they're going to Cartagena, hang up on you. I know what type of male you are.
Yes, gentlemen, we shall do the same, because apparently the bitter sisterhood now supports generalizing people. So from here on out, we'll assume that any woman who has traveled to Dubai, Jamaica, Gambia, Kenya, Morocco, the Bahamas, Panama, Cuba, Turkey, Fiji, Greece, or Italy is or once was a globe-trotting 304. And if we're being fair, We must applaud the bitter sisterhood, those endless black holes, for finally distinguishing themselves from the virtuous savannas and the growing population of so-called pygmies. Now they proudly wear their body counts of valor, unlike the undercover for the streets women of the 2000s. Women like Gabrielle Nuka Womb Union, Hallie Drycrotch Berry, and Carrie Lockjaw Washington. Let's be honest, any of us could have been fooled back in the day.
Nobody ever talks about the grief that comes along with the good girl syndrome.
I was that good girl. I decided to just stop. I said, I'm going to join the horse. I said, they're having a good time. I'm going to go over there and see what they're talking about, because I was the purity ring. I'm a good girl. I'm a virgin. And I feel like we lost so many baddies and so many great, amazing, talented women to the promise of heaven and a husband. The church has really, really done a number on us women. Just for James, who plays the drums, and James done hunched everybody in the pulpit, everybody in the congregation. So I learned at like 19. I said, you know what? I'm going to go see what the nasty women are talking about. And I've had a great time. And also, it worked out. The whole goal is to get a husband, right? And I ended up getting a ring out of just being my effing self. Just being myself. And not saying that getting a ring is winning, but a lot of people do see that as winning. So it's like, I cheated the game. I cheated by just being myself and being who I wanted to be. Because back when I was a good girl, I wanted to hunch. The desire was there. I just didn't want to, I didn't want people talking about me and doing this and doing that. And then I realized I could just do it. And that's what I wanted to do.
Destroy it.
That dick was not that good. I'm 22 with 4 kids, and obviously I can't keep my legs closed. But since I can't keep them closed, I gained over 100 pounds after having all my kids. So here we are outside jogging because I don't want to be big no more. When you big, what do? You go work out, you eat good. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to take y'all with me, though. Y'all know.
Yes, gentlemen, look at your options. Taste the sloppy seconds that await you outside.
Who made the bathroom? Because my I'm not moving until I get my food. Y'all niggas feel like. Bitches not food on the bathroom. All I said I want to pick off and no onions. And like that sauce. Don't piss me off, bitch. No, I don't give a fuck because they got to come in here and what are you talking about, bro? She took the order. It's the order's not coming in for 15 minutes. I want fucking food.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So we Destro
Salute to the brother Destro for that content. And I've seen a lot of these, as of late, I've seen a lot of these videos showing guys crashing out overseas, which is fascinating to me because the reality is that men crash out overseas all the time. Men of all races. All you have to do is just look at the media. You see? Look at the media. But it's just that when they have a movement, especially from the Black community, it's not anybody else that's doing it. It's individuals from the Black community that are sitting back waiting to watch these guys crash out. And some of these guys themselves, some of these dudes themselves who make content, they even try to profit off of the negativity. So they're complicit in it as well. But when you see people from the community that are, putting flame to the fire, you ask yourself, what is the motivation behind it? What is the motivation? What is it that they want from these guys? What is the value? And my argument is that nobody cares about passport bros. They care about the revenue. They care about lost revenue. They care about the insurance policy. Because this has been the norm in the Black community in America for so many years. This has been the norm. Women have sex with certain men, give them their best years, and when they're older and ran through, they find themselves a good Boyce Watkins. And that guy gets to get what's left over. But when dudes start going rogue, one, they start checking out. Two, guys traveling overseas. It becomes an issue of money, of revenue. The men themselves are of no value because one woman will be with, she can be with 10 guys. I mean, one guy can be with 10 women. They don't, if you look at the T app, they're all sharing the same men. One dude can have 3, 4, 5 baby mamas. One dude can have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women that he's maintaining. So they'll all share the same dude. That's not a problem. The problem comes is after he has ran through them, vigorously and viciously pounded them out, maybe put a baby in them or two, who's going to fund this woman as she gets older? Who's going to pay for all of these leftover women? We see what's going on with housing. We see what's going on with the economy. We see what's going on with AI. We see it going on with women losing their job. Who's going to carry the slack? Because remember, men and women are not the same. A man making 50, 60 grand a year and a woman making 50, 60 grand a year are not equal. The expenses, the cost, the maintenance. Women have expensive habits with hair, makeup, nails, upkeep, maintenance, shopping, travel, other expenses, and spending habits that are undisciplined. A dude can be making 50, 60 grand a year, and he can have a paid off car, used car, have his no credit card debt, high FICO score, his house and everything can be squared away. But that same women or same men can live totally different lives. So what is the shame really about? Does it really matter? Because those men were right there. Women had first option of refusal for those men. And I'll give you an example of this, right? Right, we're talking about, right? But this is the plan for those men, is to be cleanup men. And that's the only reason why we won't be paying attention to these guys, because they were right in front of them before they left. And it comes down to the money. And what happens in this environment is now that structure of a community, and I think my brother, Scream at your lot. Scream at your boy. I'm sorry. Scream at your boy said the best. Passport bros are with the pet wallets from boomers and Gen X used to be for the plantation. Them days are over. Because that's really what it is. They only police the men. And I call it the new plantation, right? It's the new plantation. Because they want the resources. They don't want to be fit, feminine, and whatever else. They just want the resources. And because that's what they really do. They really keep an eye on the men, you know. Let's see. This is what it really comes down to. When you look at it, is they're stalking these guys because what they see inevitably is money. Because all these women have had opportunities to have men in their lives, good men in their lives. You know, it's just a choice. They don't care about the actions and behaviors of the women. They only follow the men. Because the men equal, even with this, we have a guy like that. Literally, there's a guy that goes around shaming and harassing Black men for resources, for community, to pay for this shit. Because why else would they care? Because when those men are right in front of them, what are they doing with those men? They're not doing anything with those men. And I'll give you an example of that. Let's move along. I'll give you an example of that. We have examples of this, right? They have had opportunities to have good men. They just don't want them. They're boring. Here's an example. She said it herself.
Young, immature, possessive, mean. The men that y'all claim don't exist no more, I had that type of man. I had him. And I lost him because I was stupid, foolish, young, immature, possessive, mean, with a nasty attitude, ungrateful, entitled, and ignorant. I had a good man. One who gave me roses, romantic surprises, lingerie, gift baskets. He cooked, he cleaned, he had roses and candles lined up to the floor. He was romantic. He would throw me $1,000 even when he wasn't rich just to go get my damn hair done. My toes, my nails was there. He cared about me. He played old school music and slow dance with me. He did me good, took care of me, took care of my kids. I had a good man. And I lost him because I, first of all, was shocked that I even got somebody like that. I had never had nobody like that before. And I went into overdrive just doing stupid shit to try to control him and put my claws in him. And it was unnecessary because I had somebody who loved me for real and did not cheat. Loyal. Oh, loyal. If you got some man like that, please do the work. Be appreciative and be grateful. Don't be entitled. Do kind and nice things for him. Don't just be a taker. Give back. Respect him. Oh, respect him. Because that man, baby, he gone. He with a new woman. And she looked happy as hell. She looked happy as I did when I was with him. I'm happy for her. You live, you learn. But I'm here to tell you, you guys always say, oh, there's no good men that don't exist. They exist, but they are rare. And if they came into your life, take this message as go get some therapy, go get some help, go heal, go work on yourself, and pour back into that man. Because a good man will wake up one day. They just love your ass. And when they love you, they stay and they stay and they stay and they stay because they hoping you will get it together one day. They're not staying with you because they don't know that they're a good man and they may not be able to get anything else. Oh, baby, he know. He counting down on your clock.
But one thing I will agree is that women don't want a good man. Most women do not want a.
So there's opportunity to be with men. It's opportunity galore. What's going on, my brother Timothy? Salute. Anton Hook, salute to you, my brother, as well, man. Peace and blessings to you. Was it ASDD? When the dating market opened for women, they had the opportunity to meet tricks all over the world in the age of quantitative easing and fast money. So they turned on the betas. Yeah, it's amazing to me. Hey guys, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, please do. Put the banners down there. Appreciate all your support for the channel. We want to keep independent, free-thinking men's content going strong. You know, what did Gunmetal guys say? He's a peaceful life. In the last year, I've been called baby, sweetie at the drive-through window and checkout counters more than since golf. Same ones with 6666 requirements totally on their butt. The economy changes everything, man. I'm telling you. But it's just more and more evidence over and over again that they've had opportunities to be with men. They just blew those opportunities, you know, and that's an example of it. At least she was being honest, and we appreciate her honesty because a lot of women are not honest, you know, about the situation. But now we see this movement and this mindset, this mentality, trying to pretend like they trying to shame. It's like they're trying to shame the men who they claim they don't want. But really, it has nothing to do with whether guys are tricks or whatever else. They don't care nothing about that. What they care about is cash. Losing cash, losing money. That's what matters to them the most. And even to an extent, right? Let me give you an example of something. And even in that community, you see this mindset as well. When you're dealing with a woman with a certain mentality, they will give their best years to a certain type of man because they want to maintain some level of power and control, and they want to be able to sell a trauma bonding story. Let me give you an example of this sister right here. And she really, another sister that's just being honest. Let's hear what she has to say. I'm sorry.
But sis, you lost control.
Nah, she out here eating, ladies. This is truth.
What happened was, sis, you lost control. You lost control. Some women don't just settle for broke men. They seek them out. Why? For control. When a man has nothing, no car, no home, no job, no stability, no self-worth, just he's not really tapped into his masculine. You have a certain type of woman who sees him as an opportunity. And these very same women will crash out once this man comes to the realization that he's being played. Once he starts realizing what's going on, you know, he starts tapping into his masculine. See, a lot of women hate when men tap into. We want to tap into our feminine, but we hate for these men to tap into their masculine because now that nigga got some boundaries and some standards. A lot of women have to be with men who need her, who leans on her, who depends on her for just about everything. Even if she complains about it, even if she goes to her girls and she goes online, this nigga ain't never got shit. This nigga, there's a reason why a lot of women tend to attract niggas who ain't got shit. There's a lot of men who got stuff. There is. But there's a lot of men who don't. And there are women who specifically seek out these men. They know that the moment that man needs her, especially when it comes to his livelihood, eating, a place to sleep, getting around, she can control him. I be saying this a lot, even with the women who like to date men from prison, like who seek out men in prison. Them be the main damn one. These type relationships, they're not built off love. They're not built off of anything that can actually grow. It's not an actual foundation. It's just sheer control. Right. Because while she's buying him all of these shoes, buying him these chains, making him feel like a man, the moment he doesn't do something that she wants him to do, or he does something that she feels is against her, she's going to remind him how much of a man he is not. Because everything you got on, where you living at, the car you driving, nigga, that's mine. Because one or two things are going to happen when this man comes to the realization that he's being controlled. He's going to leave, or he's going to resent her. And hopefully children haven't been made in the process. Because a lot of times when a lot of women feel like they're losing control, that's when the kids.
When men realize that it's not the woman chasing you.
See, now, you see what she just said. She's giving up the game that a lot of women, that's why they love Tyler Perry movies, because they love this trauma thing. We showed in Exhibit A, the woman had a good man in her life. She ruined that relationship. She disrespected her way out of that relationship. These are not victims. These are volunteers. So when you see them out here shaming men, it's because they've mismanaged their youth. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about right now.
You hear the story about the homeless man in Atlanta who made a public plea for a place to stay, and more than 1,000 women responded? This man, who goes by the name of Big Boss Escobar, posted in a Facebook group called Atlanta Rooms for Rent. He said, I recently lost my home, just need a place that is reasonable price so I can get back on my feet. I'm tired of sleeping in Atlanta shelters. Very quiet person and stay to myself, work a job, and also have a clothing line. I moved to Atlanta from St. Louis, Missouri 4 years ago. If anybody have any resources you can send my way, I will accept. Thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, the women came through. You can come stay with me, boo, a woman named Britt wrote. Soft bed, cold AC, plenty of food, and the Wi-Fi jumping. A woman named Tish Lee wrote, you can stay with me. A woman named Courtney said, woo, if you're in my area, you can come stay with me for free. I'll take care of you. After his post went viral and more than 1,000 women responded to his request for a place to stay, he went on Facebook Live to clarify that he's not just a pretty face. He's looking for something real.
I want it to be the woman I'm finna lock in with. So whoever it is, fuck all that I look good shit. Is you really trying to lock in so we can get shit right?
Now be for real, ladies. If he came up to you and said he needed a place to stay, how would you respond? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierka with the T. Follow for more.
See, that's the stuff they don't want to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how we end up in this situation right here. After they've made these choices, what they'll do is try and pass the buck on to responsible men after they've made these choices. That's why they're out here they only look at the good in that community. They only look at the good men as an insurance policy for when they, when they've mismanaged their youth or whatever else. And it's not all women, but a large percentage of them think like that. And this is their mentality towards the men in that community. It's crazy to think that in 2025 you're dealing with this mindset and this mentality. If you listen to the sister here,
I know to my core that we have fought.
If I'm walking down the street and I see a black man with a white woman, there's a weakness in him. Ooh, something in him is weak. I think when I see a black woman with a white man, I think, oh, she's tired. Like she must have got so fed up that she's getting to rest now.
Again, you hear it's that plantation mentality over and over again. Because at the end of the day, they want men eating the leftovers. They want men paying for, what they have done in terms of the management of their own youth and the management of their choices. But that brings us full circle to where we're at today. When I see a lot of these guys and these passport bro nonsense going on, talking about overseas, the truth of the matter is, there's been dudes crashing out overseas forever. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. This is an example of some European tourists in Nang Hai or whatever. It's one of those beaches in Thailand. These are not black men, and they're crashing out in Thailand. Let me give you an example.
Saudi flags and orders to leave the dangerous surf. August 26th. You're watching Phuket Extra, brought to you by PVCPhuket.com. Nai Harm Beach lifeguards say a group of foreign tourists assaulted them just after 2 p.m. on Monday after repeatedly ignoring red flags and orders to leave the dangerous surf. Video posted by Newshawk Phuket shows several men confronting the crew, spitting and throwing punches before dispersing.
Now you watch, okay? There are men of European origin spitting at Thai lifeguards and crashing out on the beach. I can go and find hundreds of videos, maybe even thousands over the years, of men of every race and background crashing out in Thailand. It's been going on since the 1950s. There's nothing new. So who's really pushing this narrative about specifically black men? The dude in the Philippines, the Russian dude that was just locked up for crashing out in Russia. These are white men fighting. Every day you go in Pattaya, there's an Aussie or an Englishman or a German man that's getting into fight out there in Thailand. Because they don't see themselves. A white guy seen another white guy crash out, like that dude over there is a fool. But they try to put this collective thing around black men. We can argue the race factor in it, but if it was other people doing it, that'd be one thing. But no, it's the black community that's doing it the most. They're the ones who are trying to brand their own men. Look at it in all the conversations. They're still quoting false statistics. If you talk to any one of these hyena types with mentality, they don't even know the proper statistics about black men, their incomes, their place in society, the crime rates. They don't even know. They don't even know that the majority of black people in the black community don't even know that black men, the majority of them don't even have kids. 56% of them, almost 60% in the middle class. 90%, 7% of all men don't commit crimes or acts against each other, against people. The 3% is the violence. They will never quote you proper statistics because the narrative holds that community in that position and keeps the men in a subservient position. It keeps the men, it's about control of the men and their resources, their money, their energy, their reproduction, their votes, most importantly, their votes. When you have a mindset and mentality in a matriarchal environment, it's about having total control over the men. That's why you have, I call them the slave catchers. You have the slave catchers. You have this type of mindset and mentality in that community being pushed. Literally, this is the plan for that community, period. And when anybody acts in a way that's counter to that, they remove the insurance policy. This is what they think is a good relationship in that community. Because the women don't have to be better. They can be loud. They can be obnoxious. They can be non-competitive. They can be large and in charge. Who is going to compete with them? The best way to create an environment like that is to lower the self-esteem of the men. Enslave them mentally. Use the slave catchers to track them down with shame. Whenever they try and escape the plantation, send the slave catchers behind them. Whenever they try to escape this plantation, what's up to you, my brother? Andrew, salute to you, man. Peace and blessings to you, man. So whenever they try and escape this plantation here, this is what I call the new plantation, we're going to send the slave catcher after you. Literally, black men are the only men in the world that have slave catchers chasing them down for their resources and their genitals. That is the most racist crap I've ever seen. Black people are the most racist black people against black men. Black people treat black men, black American people treat black American men like slaves. Period. You know, it's crazy how they think. This is slave catcher. This is slave catcher mentality. And they do it. I can see dudes, I see videos of dudes going after dudes over in Thailand. Like, black dude does something in Thailand. Black dude does something in Kenya. And they like, oh man, this is a perfect opportunity to take those dudes down. I don't care. I'm not a passport bro. But I'm more of a libertarian in terms of my mentality. I have more of a libertarian mentality. And I call bullshit when I see it. This is bullshit. I have a libertarian mentality, and this white supremacist, black white supremacist is bullshit. Black people are some of the most racist people on the planet of their own men. And I call it the new plantation for a reason. And they know it's true. It's the new plantation. Yes, we do. We do. The women have done it. They got into partnership with white supremacy. You don't have to have the power yourself. You can partner with somebody and create the power. They did it in 1965. Most black women have 911 saved on speed dial. That's power. That's power. You can use corporate sponsored feminism. You can use the government to seize control of your men. You can just triple team them. That's power. You can use the system against your own people. The power comes from the government. A government in a gynocracy creates power. That's how you do it. People have to survive. People need money. You use the system to suppress your own men. That's racism. You tell me this is not racism? That's racism. You tell me a man in America is not free to choose who he wants to have sex with and who he wants to mate with? What is it? What is it? It's tolerated racism. He's allowed to get away with that because he's black. They can make an argument about history, but it's the new plantation. Example, if it's not racism, then why isn't there a problem with Ketanji having a white husband? You don't see Omar really going after Ketanji. They only go after the men. What is that? That's using racism against black men. Black people using racism against their own black men. You say, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Blacks oppress other blacks every day, especially black women, doing it to black men. They've used the system for years, the last 50, 60 years. Right. And really, exactly, MRT. And you guys, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to support the channel, please do. Because this is their idea of a relationship. This is the idea. They want men to accept mediocrity. If you destroy the self-esteem of a man, so the black women use white supremacy to destroy the self-esteem of black men so that they will accept mediocrity. So it's not just black men. Black men have had their history with racism. But when you use the system, look at the standards for which black men will accept in the black community. The average black man is a scrap sexual. He's a scrap sexual. What other man gets chased around the globe for his genitalia and his money? Because they want them back on the plantation with some 350-pound chick riding in the car. That's what they want for black men. Look at all the things they give you, the leftovers. They want you to be a scrap sexual. That's the plan for black men in America, to be the cleanup man. So they don't care about no passport bros. Translate that. You know, they don't care about no passport bros. They care about money. You dudes are not sticking around to sponsor this bullshit. Who's going to pay for all these women? Social Security ain't going to pay for them. Even when you look at Morgan Stanley's The Sheconomy. What's going on, my brother? Tanarana, salute to you, man. It's some plantation shit. It is racism, white supremacy. That's what it is. Coming from black people. Who tracks down grown-ass men across the ocean? Who does that? If you're a grown man, you think unless you're a homosexual, some passport boy crash out, and I don't give a rat's ass about some passport bro crashing out in Kenya. Some individual. I don't even think he's a passport bro. I don't care if no individual crash. Look here. You see these dudes right here. They're in Thailand. What are they doing? These are European men crashing out. There you go. Be removed from the screen. Finish up the video. These are European men crashing out. They're crashing out. There they go. Crashing out.
One lifeguard later stated, "We work very hard at this beach. This year, there have been no fatalities. We will be encouraged to continue our work." Witnesses say whistles and warnings were issued multiple times as monsoon season conditions created strong rip currents at Nai Harn Beach. Online reaction was swift, with many calling for prosecution, fines, deportation, and blacklisting of the attackers, arguing that the behavior endangered both tourists and first responders and risked Phuket's reputation. Darren Jenner, Marine Safety Commissioner for Thailand and an ISLA section chief, condemned the violence, urging serious penalties and suggesting Phuket consider giving senior lifeguards limited authority to detain unruly swimmers who defy life-saving orders. Nai Harn and other West Coast beaches are under frequent red flag warnings during the monsoon season, when currents can turn deadly.
So, there you have it. Men crashing out overseas. Not one black man to be seen. Hey, salute, my brother, man. Andrew Baker. Appreciate your $20 super chat. Guys, if you want to support the channel, please do. But how many more videos should we show of European men, white men, German men, Australian men, men from all over the world, individuals crashing out overseas, from deletion to domestic violence, all kinds of evidence of men of different races crashing out overseas, women crashing out overseas. I mean, there's so many videos, I can't play them all, Andrew. There's so many videos. But this just recently came in. Not one black male in sight. Because their community treats them like individuals. Every black people are not a monolith. Every individual is an individual. Yes, we can have people that try to make collective statements about black people. But generally speaking, exactly, going to jail while traveling. You know what I mean? He said black men are I meet them all the time. Most of the brothers I meet out Thailand and places like that, retired military brothers, tech brothers. What happens is this: they will get someone like the dude, like a Jay Rillo, right? Or the other guys. That's not even what they will do. Or there's other dudes. There's one in Pattaya. There's a couple in Pattaya right now that I can see. What these dudes will do right here. These are the dudes right here, right? These are the dudes that are sponsoring crash out black men. They're the dudes sitting back at home. I understand the women who sponsor crash out black men. But these are the dudes that sponsor crash out black men. Plantation type dudes, right? They despise black men living free because they're trapped on the plantation. Even if a dude is sleeping with a trick or pay for play, if she looks better than what he got at the house, he hates him. So if he see a black male overseas, that's a derelict, a loser, and a degenerate. What is he going to do? Oh, I'm going to help kick this dude over there. Make him look bad. Send him 50. Send him 100. Some broke dude overseas begging for money. That's a derelict and a lowlife. Oh, yeah, he makes them dudes look bad. Send him some money. That's what these dudes do right here. These dudes right here. That's who do that shit. That's what they do. I know the game. That's the game they play. They find the lowest common denominator overseas and they sponsor him. Because again, how dare you escape the plantation? You see? They don't want them to escape the plantation. How dare you go against the social programming? How dare you not carry the weight of debauchery? You know, and that's what they do. You know, so salute to you, Andrew. Appreciate your support again. Appreciate your support, man. Super chat. But I wanted to talk about, because again, it's not about no passport, bro. It's about cold, hard cash. If it wasn't about the money, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care if you go overseas and meet foreign women and crash out or whatever. The majority of them sleep with the same men in here. They'll sleep with 10 of them will sleep with one man. They don't care. As long as there's an insurance policy. The insurance policy is the guy that they don't want in their youth is still hanging around the community, waiting to be the baby daddy, waiting to be the step baby daddy, waiting to be the stepfather, waiting to carry the bag for all of their irresponsible behaviors when they're younger. And as long as he's around, they feel confident that there's something to fall back on. It's getting worse now with the Section 8 going down. They're talking about 2 years Section 8. And they're talking about cutting welfare down to 2 years. That was the insurance policy against making good decisions. You see, they can get that cheap housing and be on welfare for a long time, have babies with less than desirable, productive men. So all of these systems are disappearing. And now they're seeing, whoa, that dude down the street is gone. He's not even here anymore. What's left? Who's going to carry the bill? Who's going to pay for this? Even now you see these old women talking nonsense on the internet, you know, about, you know, getting a man or getting high value man, all that other bullshit. He said doormats and revolving doors. Pretty much is how they see the man. Any man that did not have desire for in their youth, you know, they just trying to get their bills paid now. You know, it's like, yo, you gotta have to pay for this shit. You know what I mean? Hey, salute to you, my brother, man. Tunnel runner. You know, you got the see war that I gotta do my work on my what's that? I gotta do translation on it, brother. But appreciate yourself, super chat. You and my brother Andrew Baker. You know, you guys are the sponsor of the show today, man. Appreciate your support for the channel. So I get, this is the important thing about having a capitalistic mindset. You go, you follow the money. The money will tell you the truth. People can pump fake you, jab step you all you want. At the end of the day, it comes down to the money. Even living overseas comes down to the money. Even living overseas, if you don't have residual income, you can't be overseas. You just don't have the money to be there. So if you can sponsor, if you don't like money moving around overseas and moving to other places, and you want to crash and destroy the image of a group of men, just sponsor the crash outs. Sponsor the crash out. Keep paying them. Keep paying them. And they will keep being that way. Spanish, oh yeah. Good, man. I have to translate all that shit, man. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what videos they play or whatever else. One objective remains the same. It's coming down to money. Money is what matters. We're in a monetized dating and relationship market in the West. And you know, and that's just the way it is. They have a lot of transactional relationships right in front of us. You know, over and over again, we see the same thing. You know, women asking for money, women begging for money. They want to get paid. They want to get paid for dates, sponsorships. You know, it's crazy. This should be interesting, right? It's funny, right? Salute to Chantel Simone for this. He said, yes, we can. What she say? Oversized girl thinks men are intimidated by her. This is like a crazy mentality right here, man. Listen what she had to say.
I was really one of the fit girls, but during the pandemic and for transparency, I became really, really sad. So I put on a lot of weight. And then I
Was
moved,
5 years ago.
so I just had a lot of life transitions, not to tell.
Pandemic was literally 5 years ago.
Come on, man. You don't know better than that as a cool person. Come on, man.
All right, so in this Ask Ashley clip said men are not intimidated by you. Level up. Plus, stop being lazy with your level up. It's showing. I'm assuming it's a little on the Humpty Dumpty side.
Oh, my God.
I am single again, and I do go out. So I like social events and things of that nature. And I find that like men will sometimes like stare, or they'll stand right in front of me, but they don't say anything. And I'm just wondering, like, or they'll make small talk, but they don't close the deal. And when they're super fine, I get kind of shy. So I don't know how to make the first move. Like, even if they're sitting, I'm not saying walk across the room, but this happens a lot where like, either they'll make small talk. Just even last night, this guy came over, made small talk, but didn't ask for my number or anything. He just stared at me like this. He's like, all right, well, I don't want to bother you. You have a good night. I'm like, okay, you too.
So why, if you are interested in him, you got the perfect opportunity to ask for his contact number. He's the one who came over and initiated the conversation. I understand that a lot of times, because of our pride and our ego, we don't want to, ask for a number, because then it seems too forward. It seems like you're a pick me and stuff like that. But you had the perfect opportunity. If you are this pressed to be calling up on an internet show to tell this story, then it clearly was important to you. You should have asked for his number.
I don't know what to do with that, but it happens all the time.
Yeah, I just think if a guy doesn't ask you for your number, he's just not interested, or he may have someone. But I would just say he's just not interested enough to ask, because what I know for sure is that a man will ask. They're gonna ask you for your number. And
See, this is the type of world that women don't tell her. Easy to tell her, look, the guy came close to you and he saw all your roles. He got post-visual clarity, not post-nut clarity. He came close. He got a close-up on you. He probably was horny. And he said, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. When he got a close-up on you, he's like, man, he envisioned his post-nut clarity. That's what happens when guys envision their post-nut clarity. They look at the body and they be like, I can't. I just can't. I can't. But he was nice. Let's continue on.
they're not going to be shy about it. And this goes for all the ladies watching. I don't think a man is ever intimidated. If he really wants you, he'll cross the room, cross the street. He will approach.
Thank you for saying that. I can't rate her for saying that, because a lot of times these women be like, oh, he must be intimidated by me. Where it's like, no, sis, first of all, you are 3 times your size. And then maybe your attitude, maybe your energy, or maybe he's just not interested. So it's no intimidation there.
So when I do agree with you. I do agree with you. But when I've like encountered a guy before and I've kind of talked to them after the fact, they were like, they were intimidated, or I gave off the energy that I was taking. And so when you live in like I'm in Dallas now, and so sometimes you'll see the same people at the same events. So maybe they don't approach event 1 or 2, but the third one they're like, yeah, I've seen you around, but I was intimidated.
Come on now. Last week we did a video on these women being frustrated with the dating market in Dallas. As I said, if you're this desperate on the dating market and you're seeing somebody, why not just shoot your shot or give the choosing signals, you know, do whatever.
But they all got guys. Let me give you an example, right? They all got guys they're already interested in. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's not like there's a shortage of men, because I mean the black community is loaded with simps. They have more of a mindset like this.
My husband had. Nobody talks about the guilt of not liking back the kindest guy you know would treat you right. Like, he's sweet, he's respectful, he's probably the guy your mom would love for you to be with, and yet something in you just doesn't click. And then you feel bad because you can't even explain why. Like, how do you tell someone it's not you, it's just that my heart's not in it? It almost makes you feel ungrateful because you know there are people out here begging for someone like him. My husband had. Nobody talks about the guilt of not liking back the kindest guy you know would treat you right. Like, he's sweet, he's respectful, he's probably the guy your mom would love for you to be with, and yet something in you just doesn't click. And then you feel bad because you can't even explain why. Like, how do you tell someone it's not you, it's just that my heart's not in it?
But now, that same woman, the moment she sees some dude over somewhere in Colombia or somewhere else overseas, she will start with her shame. They'll be called tricks. They'll be told they're going for third world women. They'll shame them. Because even her in her position, even though she doesn't want to be with that guy, she doesn't want another woman touching it or taking an opportunity, because in her mind, that guy is an insurance policy in case she never finds the guy she's with. When she's completely old and hideous, that guy is going to be, that's her backup plan. In her mind, she knows she can always come back and get that guy. In her mind. Because in her mind, social media or whatever tells us that she has a whole bunch of options, and that's her freedom of choice. But this is the type of women that be, when they don't get what they want, they will shame the men that have moved on from sitting on the shelf, you know. He said, I wish someone would explain to me what are some of the largest women have most to lose. Most delusional. It's just the culture, man. It's the culture. It's a matriarchal culture. It's a matriarchal culture. When men don't set the standards for what is beautiful, what is attractive, what is acceptable in relationships, when they don't set, because they raise the boys to take care of mama. They raise the boys to be mostly son husbands. And if mama is huge, large, and big, large, and in charge, mama has convinced them that big, large, in charge and mouthy women are what you should accept as a man. And it's programmed in the culture. And that's the sad reality of it, you know. He said, men, save yourself. You have to. You've got to escape the plantation. And that's really what it comes down to. You got to get off that plantation, man. Well, let me make sure I got enough likes on this. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Make sure we got the likes. We got 23 likes. Let's get some more likes going, gentlemen. But that's what they do now, even too. I see them on all. I see dudes, man. The worst part is like these dudes. They're the worst. I think they're worse than the women. The women I can understand, but you know. But that's the guy. Why else would he care? Like, my perspective is, I don't care. It's a grown-ass man. If a grown-ass man goes overseas and crashes out, shame on him. Shame on that individual. I don't see black men as a collective or a part of some plantation. I mean, he's a free individual that goes overseas, like white men and other races of men, and he crashes out. Shame on him. The authorities will deal with that man. The same way out here, I see another black man crashing out somewhere. Shame on him. Or white man or man of any other race. Shame on him. I guess the authorities will deal with him. But I don't like cast dispersions or make generalizations about a whole group of men of any race based on the behaviors of individuals. That's that plantation mentality. And I see a lot of guys are falling for that. Apologizing for the actions and behaviors of individuals. Like, what does that have to do with you? And they assume people around the world are stupid and cannot distinguish between those individuals that are problematic. It's only people that push this negative narrative is people that have an agenda. I see it many times, especially coming from the continent. The continent has feminists. The continent has a lot of man haters. Feminism has spread to Africa too. And there's a lot of haters. And there's also a lot of haters, economic haters. If you see a man come in your environment, he's sleeping with your women and he has more money than you want him out of there. So there's a lot of haters in that environment too. So there's a lot of haters for men who live life freely, living life on their own terms. But who's going to apologize for another man's action? Exactly. F that. I don't be out here apologizing for the actions of individuals. You're crazy. This ain't the 1930s. Plantation. Yeah, they're men. They're free men enjoying their life. I'm not a homosexual. What am I watching some man sack for? That's extremely alphabet, I tell you. This dude's like watching grown men sack. It's crazy, man. It's sickness. It's some serious sickness, man. It's some sickness. It's sickness. And I understand why people run from this community and leave that shit behind you. Because who wants to be a part of that new plantation? Nobody wants to be a part of that shit. I understand why dudes are running. Who wants to be a part of that shit? Not me. Not me. And again, all the shaming in the world ain't going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. In the end, it's the money. It's the money. It's the money. You know, he said, I'm back in Bangkok right now. One of my cousins who's in a miserable marriage back home asked me, when you coming back and settle down? Exactly. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, yeah, like that, like dudes be doing a hard time, man. You know, they, yeah, is that, you know, it's crazy. XL Pro, salute to you, my brother. Yeah. Yeah, because you're living free, Vegas Dad. Like, they can't control your behavior. You know, they can't control they can no longer control men's behavior. Before, they can race shame you, black shame you, you know, use all kinds of shame to control your vote, control your sexuality, control how you move, control how you spend your money. Or you ain't black. Your mama's black. They could shame dudes on the plantation. But dudes are realizing now, like, yo, hell no. I'm going to do what's best for me in my life. Because they want you to have responsibility and obligation without mutual benefit or any type of authority. They want you to have responsibility and obligation without anybody offering you any type of incentive or reciprocation for your sacrifice as a man. They want you to carry a community on your back. And they want to give you last access to women, no respect, and treat you like a servant or sacrificial animal. Could you imagine telling somebody, look, I know you've worked hard your whole life, bust your ass. Here's what we got for you, right here. For all of your sacrifices, this is your place in this community. Who would take that deal? If they told you you worked hard, you went to school, you kept staying out of trouble, you got yourself a good career, a good job, you've been a responsible citizen, we got a position for you. You get to marry Pukisha and take care of 2 of her kids from Day Day and Raekwon. You know what I mean? Like, who would take that deal? Oh yeah, by the way, she's loud and disrespectful. And when the dude comes back out of jail, you know what I mean? He's gonna get back with her too. Then you're gonna have a threesome, whatever you're gonna have, or poly relationship with them. You know what I mean? Like, who would take this deal? What group of men that value their self, value their life, value their resources would take that deal? What a great deal, right? Right. Like, you know, who wants that deal? That's a terrible deal. And many of these pro-blacks and stuff, they talk about, oh, you know, we're all black and we must know what's necessary for the community. Boys talk, become a bonus father, boys, moist. Like, that's a good deal for a man. It is the ultimate welfare. They want welfare relationships and shit. They want the welfare state to extend to relationships. Good luck with that bullshit. That ain't gonna work. You know, you want people to donate relationships. More like no sale, right? Exactly. Like they say, when I was 14, my pops told me, if you ever come to me with some other man's kids, I'm kicking your ass. Exactly. Yeah, that's their mission. So now they're stalking men, waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting for black men. Anything that's black American overseas, they're just like this. Oh, let them fail. Let them fail. Let them fail. They can't wait to shame those brothers. They're just thirsting for chaos. They're thirsting for crash outs. Sponsoring it. Literally sponsoring crash outs. How do you think these dudes are able to get all the way to Thailand and to Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya? People are sponsoring crash outs. They know these dudes are going to crash out and fail. So they're sponsoring it. They're sponsoring it. And we know who's sponsoring it. We all know who's sponsoring it. So what is this woman? What is the woman going to become? You know. And that's usually what the guys are that have. You think about it. If a guy has something good at his house, would he even care about some passport bros? I don't remember any dude that get anything good in his life that's sitting around watching other men sack. There's no dude in America that's winning that's a sack police. There's not. He can't be. He's not. Every dude that's winning in America don't give a rat's ass about those passport bros. It's either that dude or it's this dude. Exactly. They can't. They can't. It's either this dude or it's a dude that's making all the babies in the community. And now he's getting locked up all the time for child support. He's hoping for a Boyce Watkins type simp to get with his baby mama. You see, if simps get with his baby mama, then they become stepdaddies, which gets him off child support. Or there's these dudes that's married or in relationship with Morbid. Well, not Morbid, what's his name? Respucia, whatever the hell that thing's called. That's what the dudes that be worried about these passport bros. It's only dudes like this that be worried about passport bros, right? Like who sits around worried about what dudes is doing with their life? You know, yeah, exactly. Live your life on your own terms and ignore these small-minded people. Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's like, yo, man, like, why you stalking them dudes? Like, I don't be stalking dudes. Like, I'm in America right now. How many passport bro hate videos you see me make? You're a rat's ass about another man and what he does with his genitals? What, I look like some homosexual? I've got enough access to women. I don't even worry about, I got access to my own resources, my own money, women. I don't even worry about what some dude is doing overseas. I ain't gay. What am I watching dudes sack for? That's disturbing. What do the next black man owe me? He don't owe me nothing. The hell? And I'm starting to wonder about dudes. Like, what kind of dude? I understand the women, because the women care about the money. And I understand the baby makers in the community. And I understand, well, this dude here, all right, he's getting punished every day. I mean, I understand why he's harassing the brothers overseas. Yeah. He said, woke Hollywood hates Norbit, but they love Medea. Exactly. Yeah, it's the same bullshit, you know. In visual life, right? Because that's what you're going to be living, man. You know? I'm getting real suspicious of these dudes, man. I'm getting real suspicious of these dudes. You know? But anyhow, I'm starting to wonder about him. That dude's living under oppression and shit. Like, why is he watching? Like, why is he sitting on his couch with his meat in his hand, watching other men living overseas? Why is he doing it? Why are you watching them dudes? Like, I only see, like, if something comes to the feed because, you know, I may watch like a certain channel, you know, it's like, why are you watching? Why are you a sausage washer? Why are you doing this? What is, I understand, like, what Umar does, because Umar trying to make some money, right? I understand Umar. Umar's on some different shit, you know. Umar's on some different shit. Umar's on that. I understand why Umar does it. It's look to you, my brother Jamal, around the world. But I see dudes play into this bullshit, not understanding the motive behind their own, you know. I get it. Dudes are trying to make money. They have all these live streams. They get all this donation. And controversy sells. But I don't get this you know, nonsense that I don't get it. And maybe that's because I have a libertarian mindset. I have a libertarian mindset. I am real big on freedoms and people living free, men living free, men who work their ass off to position themselves to travel, live free. I don't care if they're going overseas and tricking, or that ain't my business. I don't give a care. You know, guys are getting played overseas. Guys are getting played right here. Guys are getting played all around us. Look at it, Therese. He got married and divorced. Will Smith just got a divorce. Tyreek, whatever his name is, the football player, his wife is about to rake him over the coals. Men are getting played everywhere. America, overseas. A simp is a global victim. And even if the guy is not a simp, as soon as he introduced the state into his life, he's at serious risk. You know. Travis Hunter, that's another one. Go down the list. There's dudes getting scammed everywhere. Yep, 500 million. Yep, everywhere. some dude crashing out in Nairobi, Kenya, or Pattaya, Thailand, or wherever dudes crash out at around the world. I'm like, what the hell is it? I don't even play that crap on my channel because I'm not the sausage police. I'm not pocket watching. I don't got no baby mamas that I'm looking for another man to support. I don't got no baby mamas. I'm not looking for anybody to pay for my responsibility as a man. So why would I be stalking another man? He said black women can't be leaving black men behind, but they constantly tripping themselves, looking backwards to be nosy about what black men are doing. Newsflash, we're okay without your draw. Exactly. Like, I don't know what the deal is with Travis. I think he's still hanging in there with his old lady, but like, yo, these dudes get ridiculous. They get ridiculous, man. He said, in hindsight, more they push this wokeness, the more the world recognize how insane they are. Passport bros bringing money to other countries, and the woke are like, no, return. Yeah, well, the black community specifically, because they have the problem is that the majority of the women in that community expect relationship handouts, relationship welfare is what they want. They want, just like government and DEI handouts, they want relationship welfare. They want to be able to be as mediocre as possible. And then they want to live their life, be as mediocre as possible, offer nothing in return except use box, and get men to marry them, accept the disrespect, and create this successful life and environment for them. When they serve the men reciprocation, they don't believe in that reciprocation. Like, that's why so many of them are waiting at the end of the finish line. Man got to make this, man got to make that. When in reality, most of the relationships that you see where the woman is able to, quote unquote, rest in her femininity is a relationship that she's built with her man over the last 20, 30 years. She got with that dude when he was broke. Maybe he just graduated college. Maybe he was in the beginning. Maybe he started his business. And she worked with that man to build a life. And now she's enjoying through her loyalty, through her taking care of that man, through her having the kids by that man, through her serving that man, she's enjoying the fruits of her labor. But that's not what you see nowadays. Nowadays, they're just waiting at the finish line. They're waiting at the finish line. He said, black women expect you as a man to be subservient to them. But the reason why I always clash with the women in my family. I don't like being talked down to. Exactly. So that's what's happening. They're waiting at the end of the finish line for you to become the best version of yourself. And then you're going to take your resources and give them relationship welfare. It's like, he said, completely agree. Sounds like the lifestyle on the plantation disrespect the man, but value the woman for breathing purposes. It's a plantation owner's fantasy. Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the new plantation. It's the new plantation. And if we really look at it in terms of just individual freedom and individual agency, and how we are judged and evaluated by individual. See, they don't want to talk about individualism. Because if you talk about individualism, then you have to be held accountable as an individual. And they don't want that. Because now you have to ask that person, what actions have you taken or refused to take in your life that have given you the outcomes that you have? And nobody wants to deal with the individual responsibility that comes with it being analyzed on an individual basis. That's why I'm able to talk so confident and freely on my channel, because if they come looking for me, what are they going to find? Nothing. So I don't care what they think about me. But the only reason why they're policing people is because you have something that they want. They're policing you because you have something that they want. You know, which is money, resources, an insurance policy. Exactly. He said, don't allow these women to disrespect you. They're policing you because you have something that they want. And a sad reality is it ain't you. If you can just leave your wallet, your bank account, your investment account with them, they wouldn't care if you go overseas or you're a passport bro or whatever you are. If you left your wallet, your bank account, your investment accounts, your pensions and whatever else, they wouldn't care if you left. They would just use the money and they'll all do what they're doing now, which is go behind the same 20% of men. But when you're leaving, you're taking your money with you. And who's going to pay for this shit? Somebody's got to pay for this bullshit. Somebody's got to pay for this. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to pay? It's my question. Who's going to pay for this? Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay for this? The system is heavily dependent upon men simping. The current structure and system in the Black community is dependent upon simp labor. Without simps, the Black community is doomed. It's doomed. It's over. It survives off of simps and men that have been emasculated to the point where they'll accept anything, scrap sexual reality. The Black community survives off of scrap sexual donations. Men with low self-esteem, men who don't know their value, men who've been shamed and emasculated for so many years. Without the simps, who's going to pay? Who's going to pay for this? Somebody has to pay for the irresponsible breathing. Section 8, 2 years. Section 8 now. They're trying to bring it down to 2A. And don't get me wrong, the white community has a lot of Section 8. A lot of it too. But who's going to pay for all this crap? Where are they going to stay? Rents in some of these areas. And remember now, these hedge funds and these investment groups can buy real estate now. What are they going to do? They're going to buy the real estate and jack up the rents. You think they're going to let Section 8 women, people back into those units once these investors get a hold of them? They're not going to allow that. But so who's going to pay this $2,000, $3,000 rent? Who's going to pay for that? Nobody's trying to see no passport bros running around overseas, slinging meat, tricking, what they call tricking. Mr. Travolta said they get a job. They ain't trying to get no job. They looking for relationship handouts and shit. That would be me and you. That's our values. We would say get a job, right? Why get a job when you can extort simps? You can extort simps. You can extort simps. Why get a job when you can get some dude with low self-esteem to hand over his money? You can get Omar to shame him to hand it over his money. You know, and then they get you trapped on the plantation. The new plantation. That's the strategy. You race hustle somebody into submission, and they'll hand over their wallet. That's been the mind game of the community. You race shame men to control them because they already grew up. A lot of these boys have been growing up without their fathers. And to be honest with you, that's how they broke slaves back in the day. You know, removed the influence of that stallion, raised them with the mares. You automatically break the male horse. So they break black men like that. Yo, Umar needs $500, right? Umar's been kidding. Umar's been coming hard though. Hey guys, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. Support the channel if you want to, man. Hit the like button, gentlemen. Support independent men's content. Yeah, that's how you do it. You know, Omar's been going hard though. I'll tell you what, man. Omar should be a comedian, man. Oh shit, where's Umar at? I gotta get some Umar. Umar keeps coming hard, man. The pain. Where's Umar at? No, not that one. My brother Umar. You gotta get this to him. He be going hard, man. Umar be going hard. I gotta give Umar some credit, man. Let me see if I can send it all the way through. If you want to really make money, Omar just need to be a comedian. Forget all this race hustling bullshit. Omar's real talent is being a comedian. Let me see if I can get it come through. Every time I see that, I'll be honest with you dudes. I like Umar. Umar's crazy. Umar's just crazy, man. I mean, Umar's just crazy, man. Let me see if I can get a little sample of Umar. Let me see if they'll let me play it, right? Umar be tripping. But he's funny as hell, man. Let's hear what Umar got to say.
Williams. Lord have mercy. 5'5", super thick in the thighs. Serena went and got her a snow puppy. Serena, you could have came and hollered at King Kong, baby. I would have took care of that. Serena Williams, you could have came and hollered at King Kong Consciousness. I would have took care of all that. Woo! That snow puppy you got, I know he ain't pleasing my sister. Not them thighs. No way. You're not going to tell me that European can handle all that African black girl magic Serena Williams got. She needs King Kong driving clutch. Serena needs King Kong driving stick shift clutch black girl magic. But let us stay focused, because it's politics over the punani. It is revolution over the romance. It is institutions over intimacy.
Oh man, how do you hate that guy? Like you can't. You gotta love the guy, man. He doesn't care. Oh, man. It gets even more interesting with this guy, man. Oh my God. Shoot, Umar is hilarious, man. I'm sorry. Umar is just what Umar. Umar is one of the funniest dudes ever. He's in the wrong profession. I think he should go ahead and compete with Dave Chappelle. You know what I mean? He got me beat on that one, man. I'm sorry, man. Hold on a second. I gotta give him one where he said the snow bunny saved his life. That was funny as hell, man. In fact, let me call my son. He gotta send me that one. Hold on a second. Find that one, man. I got so many clips, but this is like the crap you got going on in the community, man. It's like it's crazy, man. You know. Yeah, you can't stop it. Yeah. But Umar, like, he's on some crazy shit. He's asking for like $500, man. Umar's funny as hell, man. I'm sorry. That dude is just funny. He needs to get into comedian. He needs to be a comedian, man. Yeah, I got it right here. Hold a second. Hold on 1 second. I gotta play this shit, man. Omar's a funny dude, man. He needs to stop doing this race hustling shit, get into some stand-up comedy, man. That's where his talent lies. Because he literally can make money over just making dudes laugh, man. Just purely off of comedy. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me play it. Let me share a screen real quick. Omar needs to be a comedian. Here you go. That shit was funny as hell, man. This one for you, Larry.
And then in my 6th and 7th grade year, my father took me to my first family reunion, Baltimore, Maryland. I'll never forget the family reunion. Why?
Why?
Because I jumped into the swimming pool at the deepest end of the Days Inn Hotel. And my sister jumped in to save me. I didn't know how to swim, but I said, you got to get over your fear. And I jumped in the deepest water, couldn't swim. My sister jumped in and almost drowned her. So she left me out there. And then a snow bunny came and saved me. And I saw 2 big white titties and I grabbed them. Black power. I said, we want black power. I grabbed them 2 white breasts, and that snow bunny saved the life of the future Prince of Pan-Africanism. Wherever she is, I want to say thank you to that flat butt, big breast white woman. Because if it wasn't for her breasts, I might not be here now. Black power.
What the do y'all want me to do? Cut the light off me. Leave it on. What are we doing?
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
I'm gonna play that shit again.
You feel me? That's what And then in my 6th and 7th grade year, my father took me to my first family reunion, Baltimore, Maryland. I'll never forget the family reunion. Why?
Why?
Because I jumped into the swimming pool at the deepest end of the Days Inn Hotel. And my sister jumped in to save me. I didn't know how to swim, but I said, you got to get over your fear. And I jumped in the deepest water, couldn't swim. My sister jumped in and almost drowned her. So she left me out there. And then a snow bunny came and saved me. And I saw 2 big white titties and I grabbed them. Black power. I said, we want black power. I grabbed them 2 white breasts, and that snow bunny saved the life of the future Prince of Pan-Africanism. Wherever she is, I want to say thank you to that flat butt, big breast white woman. Because if it wasn't for her breasts, I might not be here now. Black power.
What the do y'all want me to do?
Oh, this is how we got here, man. How did we get here? Oh, man. We have traveled a long way, gentlemen. You can't even get mad at this dude, man. How do you get mad at a guy like this? You know what I mean? Like, how do you gotta love this guy. I mean, come on, let's be honest. You can't get mad at this dude. How do you get mad at a dude like this? Hey, why not? Let's go with some more Umar. Some more Umar. Why not? Some more Umar. We might as well entertain ourselves, man. He ain't gonna stop, so we might as well enjoy Umar. Let's get ourselves some more Umar. Let's see what Umar talking about.
School system is $734 million worth.
Coming out for the ladies, it's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch. I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor? Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that. Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't Leo King. Ninja, you ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now. Don't make me beat my chest. Don't make me beat my chest. King Kong, stop playing.
Today, now the kids are being threatened not to even go to school next year because you.
I got a new program coming out for the ladies. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch. I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor? Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that. Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't Leo King. Ninja, you ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now. Don't make me beat my chest. Don't make me beat my chest. King Kong, stop playing.
Hey, there we have it, folks. There, the doctor has spoken. Get your women lined up. Get that $500 out there. I'm almost tempted to sponsor a date with a snow bunny for the doctor. Snow bunny, Dr. Umar, one date. I'm all in. And I get to film it. I get to film Dr. Umar sitting down with a snow bunny eating lunch or dinner. That would be worth it for me. I think worth it. I'm almost willing to pay for it. I'm willing to pay for it. You know, we got to find the quote unquote snow bunny that saved his life. We got to find this woman. I want to find this woman. We need to find this woman who saved the doctor's life. This particular lady, you know what? It's probably a long time ago. We've got to find this particular white woman. I wonder if we can find her, the one who saved this man. He's an ungrateful spirit, but can we find this woman that saved this man's life?
In my 6th and 7th grade year, my father took me to my first family reunion, Baltimore, Maryland. I'll never forget the family reunion. Why?
Why?
Because I jumped into the swimming pool at the deepest end of the Days Inn Hotel, and my sister jumped in to save me. I didn't know how to swim, but I said, you got to get over your fear. And I jumped in the deepest water, couldn't swim. My sister jumped in and almost drowned her, so she left me out there. And then a snow bunny came and saved me. And I saw 2 big white titties and I grabbed them. Black power! I said, we want black power! I grabbed them 2 white breasts, and that snow bunny saved the life of the future Prince of Pan-Africanism. Wherever she is, I want to say thank you to that flat butt, big breast white woman, because if it wasn't for her breasts, I might not be here now. Black power!
What the do y'all want me to do? Cut the light off me. Leave it on. What are we doing?
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
The man has spoken. I want to find that woman, and I will pay for a $500 dinner date with the doctor. If that woman appears, but then she might see it as punishment. It would be worth $500 to me to sponsor a dinner date between that lady and the doctor. Just for entertainment purposes. Because the man has a future in comedy. He does have a future in comedy. Because nobody's listening to him. Because as much as he tried to sell the new plantation, the brothers are like, this is what's happening with Dr. Umar's plans. His plans have failed. These dudes is like galley up and they're like hauling ass away from this new plantation. Hey, hell no. Let these dudes pay for their own children. It's not working. All the shame in the world. I want to say this to the community. Because of the men's content out here, even these younger brothers, and the internet is just unchecked. See, the internet just can come. These dudes is like, hell no. You ain't signing me up for this plan. They just haul ass out of there like that. Hell no. These brothers are gosh. Hey, I ain't down with that. This whole system of the new plantation is failure. Because the social media, as much as it liberated the women, it liberated the men too. They're like, no, man, I ain't doing that shit. Damn that. You know, get another sucker to sign up for this action. They're just not doing it. It's not working. It's not working. Even the panda bears, when they come with that customers always right bullshit, not working. Not working. Not working. These brothers are not paying attention. They're not going with that bullshit. You know, and again, at the end of the day, show me the money. Show me the money. Whenever people start talking, regardless of what race, the first thing come out of my mind, show me the money. How is this from a capitalistic perspective? What is it that you want? Because if you didn't want anything, you wouldn't be paying attention to it. So I look at things through the lenses of capitalism. Everybody needs money. Even the church needs money. Why did they start preaching the full acceptance and prosperity gospel or the feel-good gospel? Because they started preaching the feel-good gospel because the pastors over time saw the side effects of sexual liberation. More single moms in the church, more baby mamas, more alphabet. You can't hit them with that fire and brimstone gospel of the past. You can't go Geno Jennings on them. You mean that offering bowl be dry. Every Sunday you be walking around like this. Hey, you don't have no money. If you hit them with that hardcore gospel, you're going to lose all the baby mamas. You start talking about that fornication and that alphabet stuff. Man, you'd be crickets in that church. That building would be getting repossessed. No taxes would be getting paid. So you got to water down the gospel to adjust to the debauchery of the current day system, where there's no shame, there's no values, there's whatever. You just preach some Joel Osteen, make everybody feel good, positivity gospel. Don't even preach about the 7 deadly sins. You got to skip over a bunch of stuff. For starters, you got to skip over sloth and gluttony and all kinds of shit. I would imagine having a sermon about the 7 deadly sins and shit. You know, like, oh, man, you can't even talk about. You got to water it down for people up nowadays, man. You got to keep the money going. You got too many single mothers. You got too many people alphabet. You got too many people fornicating. You know, you got people that just came out of the club on Saturday night in the church. You got to water it down, give it to them easy, you know, give it to them slow. You ain't going to make no money. You just not. Look, I make this kind of content because I don't be pandering to nobody. You know, I can't make Panda Bear content, pandering to people for money. So I make straight, honest content. It creates as an environment of slow growth. But at least my soul feels good knowing that I ain't lied to nobody. But it's easy to make money pandering, especially if you're pandering to women or men. Well, it's hard to pander to men. Men will cook you. They'll call you all kinds of names. Because men are logical. They're like, this dude's a fraud. Look at him. Peaceful life is full of shit. Men will just tell you, they'll be like, yo, this dude's dishonest. Eat you up and they'll be gone, chew you up and spit you. But women, you can lie to them all day long. You tell them all kinds of stuff. If I was Panda Bear Peaceful Life, I'd be in my videos with 350-pound women and shit, walking down the park holding hands with rhinoceros and hippos and, you know, all kinds of bullshit. I'd be on some serious simping shit, pandering shit. I'd be walking around this shit like excusing all kinds of debauchery. You know, I'd be on this shit. If I really want to make money on YouTube, I'll just get into this shit right here. Validate delusion. It's always men's fault. Black men are broke and dusty. You deserve a good man. You're not fat, you're thick. I'd be pandering my ass off. Shit. That's how you make money. You lie your ass. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear nobody trying to, because truth forces you to look at the person in the mirror, man or woman. The truth forces you to look at the person in the mirror. It's a simple algorithm to make money off of black women. Every black man knows it. It's just his soul. You got to worry about your soul, because when you lie to women, you condemn them. You condemn them to a life of misery. This is how you make money off of black women. Validate delusion. It's always men's fault. Black men are broke and dusty. You deserve a good man. You're not fat, you're thick. All kinds of validation things. You know, like you gotta stay on the pathway though. You got to stay on the pathway of praise, worship, low expectation. Praise, worship, low expectation. It's always black men's fault. Black men-ish. Black men are broken, dusty. You guys are superior beings. You know, mother goddess. You need to be worshipped. Queen, mother goddess. Wonderful. I kiss your ass. You can make no mistakes. You ain't fat. You're thick. You know, your attitude's wonderful. Men are just weak. All kinds of pandering shit. That's how you make money. Derek Jackson is a master at this game. And he gets paid. He has almost 4-point-something million people on his channel. That's how you make money. You ain't gonna make no money telling no truth. Shoot, the women will hate you. But I don't have to worry about any of this because who cares? Women can sense your energy and have an intuition about you regardless. But they'll never come back and say, oh, peaceful life, you lied to me. You told me being over 300 pounds doesn't matter. Now I got diabetes. No one's going to say a peaceful life lied to me and now I got diabetes. So I sleep good at night. I don't bullshit men. I don't bullshit women. I don't tell men you could be a broke, dusty basement dweller and have success in life. Period. So I damn sure ain't going to tell women that you could have a nasty attitude, be uncooperative, disagreeable, and you're going to get the man you want. The best way to get what you want is to deserve what you want. To position yourself in life as an individual to deserve what you want. That's how you get what you want, is to absolutely deserve what you want. If you don't deserve what you want by the effort and work you put into your own self-development, how can you be mad at anybody else? But again, being honest and upfront don't make money. It doesn't make money. You know, drama makes money. Chaos makes money. And you can't really talk to women. So I've come to the conclusion of this. You're not going to reason with them. You're not going to reason with them. Because this is their plan for you as a man, as a black man. This is their plan for you. So you got to get to this point in life where you just let these wild horses run free. If you get on one of these panels and try to argue with one of these women, you're just asking for stress. Your cortisol level is going to be to the roof. They don't care what you think. You think these women care what you think? You're a fool. When they listen to you, they listen to think, this one has escaped the plantation. When black women watch me, all they see is, how did he escape the plantation? Why is he talking like that? Umar, you failed. How you let him get away? Look at how he's talking. He's talking free like a man. We must hunt him down and clip his balls. They're like, hunt down a peaceful life and clip his balls. He's talking with too much testosterone. You know, they're going to send like their Sims after me or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, get that dude. You know, they're going to send these dudes after me. You know, that's what they're going to send after you. But anyhow, with that being said, guys, hit the like button if you want to support the channel. You can cash at me. You can send a super chat. We're going to keep the content going. But at minimum, hit the like button. But this is about money. It's all about money. Likes are free. Make sure you hit the like button. And like I said, if you want to support the channel, please do. We're going to have more of this conversation because at the end of the day, it comes down to resources. Resources live in a community, resources going places, resources being spent in other economies during this time of high inflation. Because that's their version of community, and this is the plan for black men. And black men are not hanging around to sign up for this bullshit. That's the ultimate failure and why there's so much shame. But that being said, brothers, sisters, whoever is watching, hit the like button. I'm out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Salute to Vegas Steve. Salute to you, my brother. And all you brothers out here, salute to Andrew and the other brother who dated Andrew Baker. Salute to you. Salute to Tunnel Runner. Salute to both of you brothers, okay? But I understand why the brothers is running. I would be hauling ass too if this was somebody's plan for my life. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Peace and blessings, everybody. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm out.